No, this is not a blueprint series because that shit wouldn't last 3 fucking videos. This is a nice and quick way for Bioware to get their shit together when it comes to Andromeda's multiplayer because this shit needs a little bit of help. Now, aside from balance, this shit is a little fucked up. Sort of how the YouTube auditor can go fuck himself. Now, I'll say this right now. This is not about balancing the game. Bioware just did their Twitch stream to talk about all the things they're going to buff in the future. A lot of that shit did sound pretty good. So this is not about guns. This is not about powers, the enemies, and whatnot, because I could spend plenty of time talking about that shit. But obviously, Bioware's not going to listen. They already have their plan for what they're going to fix in this motherfucker. We'll see if it actually gets fixed, but they at least have something coming out because these fuckers just nerfed a shitty gun to make it even shittier because they felt like if they buffed it, it would be overpowered. Seriously, how fucking stupid can you be? I'm not trusting this patch too much, but we'll see. We'll give them a chance when they put this motherfucker out. Second thing to note, not everything is going to be possible. Some of the shit needed to be done before the game came out. Some needs to change how the game actually works. But ultimately, there are a number of things that I will mention that I know BioWare can't do. Not won't do because they're assholes or they're lazy, but can't do because the game won't allow them. In the meantime, here's my list of common sense fucking things to improve multiplayer. Number 1, the simplest of all fucking things you should be able to do. Button mapping on PC and consoles. I know they have different controller configurations and layouts, but the biggest issue that I have with the game is the L1, R1 power button. I guess that's the bumper buttons on an Xbox controller. I don't know what it is on PC. But back in Mass Effect 3, the third power was located on the triangle button. Well, at least on the PlayStation controller. Obviously on the other consoles and PC, I don't know what it was. This ended up making the square button do every fucking thing in the game. Reloads, uploads, downloads, make a sandwich, scratch your ass. Oh, motherfucker, man. However, when you put our third power on 2 buttons, it leads to the most annoying side effect, which is accidentally using a power that you don't want. Let's say that third power is the charge button on Vanguard, sort of like a panic way of saving your health. If charge isn't ready, or it's on the verge of having its cooldown ready, then the power isn't available. In Mass Effect 3, you could spam the buttons until the power comes back. However, in Andromeda, if you try to spam both buttons, L1 and R1, it could send off one of your other powers, like Shockwave or Nova. Not exactly what I want. I know the Vanguards are not set up that way. Guys get the idea behind this shit. The triangle button is now your melee and objective button. I don't see any reason why those can't be moved to different buttons, such as the melee using your thumbstick like every other fucking shooting game, or even the objective interaction button as the L1, R1 button combo. Considering this is a game with space magic and powers, the powers should be the most accessible buttons in the game. Now, obviously, there are people who like the current setup, which is fine. And that's why I want button mapping. Not changing the entire layout automatically, but giving the people to select their button options is my solution. Those who like the setup can certainly keep it. Those who want the minor tweaks, they can alter exactly which powers their buttons go to. Number 2, another easy one, a party system. What fucking year is it? 2017? You mean to tell me other studios have long figured out party systems for the past 15 fucking years and you dipshits couldn't think of a way to do that? Come on, man. How hard is it to just see people online playing the fucking game? How hard is it to create a lobby with your friends already with you, as opposed to having to create one and then they join you after the room has already been created? This is like fucking video game 101, man. I mean, this has to be the stupidest fucking omission in this game yet. Yes, Mass Effect 3 worked in a similar fashion, but that was 5 fucking years ago, man. That was your first online multiplayer game on consoles. I get it. Other games have you joining friends on the fly immediately, like The Division and Destiny, and this shit doesn't have any of that, man. Come on, a simple fucking party system will improve this shit dramatically, man. Number 3, the bonus stats. Oh god, aside from having that absurd fucking XP requirements, which basically requires you to play this shit fucking forever, who broke out the split between the characters? No, really, why is it that one bonus stat has 7 characters that rank that shit up while another one has 4? So when people finally rank up all their characters evenly, the recharge bonus stat is going to give 7 characters to rank that shit up, while maximum health only has 4. Now granted, I can infinitely play with the characters with that stat, and there's obviously no limit as to how much I can play those characters, but it just seems so fucking stupid and limited. You have 28 characters and 5 bonus stats, yet nobody figured out some basic math on how to split those motherfuckers up. I get it, it's not going to divide evenly. 28 divided by 5 is not a great math example, but you could have seriously at least just broke that shit out a little bit easier, man. This is just fucking laziness, complacency, or both. I mean, just even out the characters. It's not that goddamn hard. Number 4, y'all know the upload objective, right? Well, this is probably the only part that kind of covers balance issues, but the upload is fucked up. I get the logic, divide and conquer. Every teammate needs to pull their weight. But the issue is, anytime an enemy walks into the upload, it completely stops. This is especially frustrating when the hack, when there's only one fucking zone and all players have to be into this shit, is so much easier. And that doesn't stop the objective when enemies are in that motherfucker. With the 3 upload position, because the size of the maps are so damn small, you know one of those uploads is going to get the spawn. You know one of those spawns is going to get the Hydra and 2 Berserkers, or it's going to get the Ascendant and the Fiend at the same time. Matter of fact, all the zones are located next to a major spawn point, which is fucking irritating. So you almost need to scatter around the map before the objective starts, guessing where the uploads will be in order to force the spawns to move in this motherfucker. Now, anyone who has done the upload on Wave 6 against the cat, you know the struggle. Hence, why it needs to be changed. It's hard enough holding the zone down on your own with no help. And then you're gonna add this shit where enemies jump into that motherfucker and it stops your progress? So, there are 2 changes you can make. Have the upload like the hack, where the progress isn't lost with an enemy in the zone, or have the upload progress slow down incrementally with each enemy in the zone. So if you have 0 enemies in the zone, then it's going to move the fastest. If there's 1 enemy, then it's going to move 10% slower. 2 enemies, 20% slower. You see? You get the point. If 2 people in an upload can make it go faster, why don't enemies in the motherfucker just make it go slower? It's a bit backwards. Then you have 4 people in a hack progress, which isn't much harder. That allows you to keep the progress. But when you have 1 person trying to hold this shit down against a whole fucking squad, that is bullshit. And then you lose your progress? Come on, man. The upload needs to get fucking fixed. Plain and simple. Improvement number 5. Can we get a fucking list of what the medals do? I mean, what do you need to do with these motherfuckers? You know the ones that I'm talking about. The ones that are in-game. Get sniper kills, headshots, play the objective, whatever. You know, the prior game told you exactly what they were. You do. Oh, 5 melee kills, 10 headshots, 25 kills. I believe they're still the same, but now we're just guessing on the shits and hoping the fuck we get enough kills or whatever the fuck it is. You know, I'm not asking you to raise the Titanic here or fucking solve world hunger, but simply letting us know what are the thresholds for each medal in the game. Maybe even letting us know like Mass Effect 3 did. This is simply just an improved notification system. How fucking hard is that, man? Now, the next couple of items that I want to actually go into are all somewhat related because they touch on a different part of multiplayer that really feels neglected right now, and that's the Apex missions. I like the idea of a separate minigame with the strike teams and the mission funds in right now, but it really needed to be fleshed out a little bit more. You know, because multiplayer wasn't rushed out or anything, and it isn't fucked up in any way already. But essentially, my number 6 item is improving the strike team portion of the game. Whether you do it in the campaign or multiplayer, the teams are somewhat boring. I mean, you basically recruit the teams, and then they randomly give them to you. You send them out on missions, which they may or may not pass based on a percentage, and they gain a few positive and negative traits, and you could also outfit them with a little bit of equipment. It's limited. It feels like something thrown at the last minute as another way of adding RNG to the game. I get where the piece is going, and anybody that has played Assassin's Creed remembers how you could send out assassins or teams of assassins to complete missions, but even that had more options. Here, we get 6 total teams, but it's not like these teams are different. The pictures are different, but it's not like I can assign Asari or Turians or Krogans to the team. I can't make a biotic team or a tech team or a weapons team. Sure, they have some basic traits that improve your mission chances, but ultimately they don't do anything fancy. I'd like to make an Asari commando team or a Krogan melee team. Shit, why can't I even add my current roster of characters to the fucking teams? You know, like sending out my Krogan merc, my human engineer, my Solarian operator, and Turian Havoc on a mission, and then they come back with XP or skill points or something like that. You have this roster of 28 characters sitting there collecting dust the majority of the game, and then you have this generic strike team mission. At this point, it's far too late to combine anything like this, but this was a seriously golden opportunity to make use of all the fucking characters. Number 7 also connects to the strike teams, and that's the mission funds. Right now, we really have nothing creative to spend them on. You know, I bought all 6 of those equipment items already from the store. I can buy some more teams. I can equip my teams with better gear, but ultimately the mission funds will probably go to waste at some point. I know they mentioned they're probably going to add some XP boosters to the store and you can be able to buy those shits, but aside from stocking up on rockets and metagel, there really isn't a great use of mission funds right now. You know, like something like turning 100 mission funds into 100,000 credits for the store, or purchasing character cards or guns or something from the store with enough funds instead of the bland shit they have in there right now. Again, this just seems like the strike teams and the use for them wasn't fully thought out and was thrown in at the last minute without any idea of the ongoing plan for what the currency would be. Just rotating 6 pieces of equipment and having players run hours and hours of strike missions for useless fucking funds is not an ideal use of the inventory of the game. Either add more items that you can actually purchase with mission funds, or you need to convert that into actual credits to buy things in the fucking game. All of this leads me directly into my number 8 item, the Apex missions themselves. Basically, it's the same shit we do now with the 7 waves of enemies, plus a modifier to either make it easier or harder to complete shit. Big fucking deal. It's the same shit. I know Bioware is trying to pretend they're adding a story to this shit. You know, they have these blog posts saying that, oh, there's remnant activity occurring and we need to investigate, or the Ket have a new super soldier, whatever the fuck it is. So basically, you play fucking waves of the same shit. What really should have been the scope was using the campaign maps to accomplish missions. And there are story bases that take you from point A to point B. In other words, you're not trapped in a map for 7 waves of fucking enemies. You start out on a campaign type map where you advance from a starting point all the way to an ending objective, shooting enemies along the way, of course, and then the final battle culminates in something like a hack or a retrieval or any other kind of multiplayer type objective. Maybe a huge boss that we see in the campaign, or a countdown to escape a bomb timer or some shit like that. Ultimately, this could have been a great way to add story to the strike mission instead of a blog post saying that aliens are attacking a power source and we need to stop that shit. Come on, man. We do the 7 same fucking waves against the same fucking enemies, yet you have this giant campaign with all these wonderful maps that you could have fucking used, man. Numbers 9 and 10 are some of the things that people will remember that we would love to have back from Mass Effect 3, and those were the community events and weekly rewards. Back in Mass Effect 3, there was always a weekend event, or I think it was moved to a bi-weekly event if my memory serves me correctly. The idea was that the community as a whole needed to play and kill enough enemies during a time frame, and the entire community would get a reward if we completed the objective. Most of the time we passed, sometimes we failed because Bioware wanted to fuck us over on purpose. Oh man, like that, what was it, 10 million Banshee challenge or whatever the fuck it was on that weekend? Oh, some crazy shit. But anyway, well, I don't think we're going to be getting those back anytime soon. At the very least, they can think of a community event for us besides these fucking Apex missions, man. And they can certainly give us a fucking reward for the Apex missions that they roll out each week. Those special ones, you know, the blog post ones. Instead of telling us, oh, that we're gonna go play a bronze match, give us something. Don't just put an ultra rare character in the fucking packs for RNG. What kind of fucking reward is that? What's the point of doing a bronze mission for shit credits and then having to unlock something at the ultra rare level? That's insanely fucking stupid and part of the logical problem multiplayer has right now. Give us a decent reward. Give us an expert pack. Give us an ultra premium pack. Give us something that we feel like, okay, I fucking earned something out of playing these stupid ass story missions, but instead you give us fucking base credits, bronze credits, and then say, oh yeah, now there's an ultra rare character that you could go out and buy. Get the fuck out of here, man. This shit is so goddamn stupid. Now, I know not all of these changes are possible, but some of them are certainly fucking reasonable, man. We won't get any story map missions, community events, or have the ability to use our characters for the automated Apex missions, but at least fixing the upload, lowering the bonus stat requirements, or at least spacing the shits out a little bit better, and a fucking party system. These are logical goddamn steps. But hey, this game was extensively tested by streamers. Yes, and this is the result, motherfucker, man. Anyways, those are 10 quick ways to improve Bioware's multiplayer game of Mass Effect Andromeda. I know not all of them are going to happen, but it shows you there are 10 simple steps they could have taken to improve this bitch, man. So anyways, as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit, and I'll see you guys in the next video.